Hello friends, Those Back Pages here. I hope you're well. For tonight's episode, we're going to have a live mail opening, and there's a reason why. I'll get to that in a little while. Not much mail coming in lately. It's not from lack of trying, it's just from losing. Combination of being outbid and I guess more so not finding stuff. Yeah, I mean, I've been on this historical important people, I guess. I don't know how you want to phrase it, Kick, but, non-sports. I dislike that term, but it is what it is, right? So I've been on the non-sports kick and trying to find stuff that I don't own, obviously, and stuff that you just don't see very often, like the right there, the Allen and Ginter United States flag and the 1911 Royal Bengals, George Washington there, and then of course the technically early 1900s Poulain, it's French, I apologize, Chocolat Poulain Thomas Edison that you don't, I had shown this off before, but, it's got embossing, not quite like the grandfather of etching, but it's embossed. His hair is embossed and everything, and this is quite pretty old. And to think this came in a candy bar, 120 years ago, or whatever it was. It's pretty fascinating to me. So along those lines, I added a Beethoven that I didn't have. You guys know or don't know, if you're tuning in for the first time, that I've the last couple of months I've started collecting, like you see in front of you, but specifically Beethoven stuff. I think easily one of the goats of music all time. Debatable that if these early guys didn't exist, we wouldn't have what we have today. But that's another topic. This is a PSA 6 MK, which stands for Mark, because there's right as you can see right here, there's a mark on the back. Now, having gone to the National and talking to a dealer who only sold non-sports stuff, including this, he had other copies of this, which I didn't purchase, but it's because I really didn't know enough to appreciate what I was looking at the National, and that was back in July, and here we are in October, and obviously just from reading up and learning and talking to people, I know a lot more now than I did then, and I wish we could go back and probably pick up a couple different things that I saw then that I didn't realize what I was looking at, and I think that's important in the always learning aspect of our hobby. Now, like I said, it's 6MK, and I showed you the mark on the back. That was very prevalent for that release because the dealer was telling me that this particular issue, you collected a certain amount, you sent them in, you got some other stuff, I don't remember. It was a redemption, essentially. So they got stamped and wound up somewhere, and then wound up back in circulation. That little stamp on the back, star stamp. Again, that card you see there, that Beethoven, is a 99-year-old card. And that's the youngest card you see, other than the Floyd sticker in the back. But 1911, 1887 on the flag, early 1900s on the Thomas Edison, and Thomas Edison has cards from the 1800s, which I haven't picked up, not yet anyway. Again, use the hobby funds to the best of your advantage, how you want, and yeah, obviously. So I had gotten in. Let's take a look. I got a couple. I just popped the original seal on this, just for time's sake, because I'm going to be opening I'm going to be opening these. Well, one's ripped, but you'll see. You'll see in a minute. So, let's see. I don't think he puts... I could tell this is a mono. I won 2 cards from this seller. And I know what they are. Well, it's supposed to be, but due to the packaging, I happen to win another Andrew Lincoln autograph, Rick Grimes, season 2, first autograph card. You know, I had gotten one of these graded, slabbed up at the National this year. You know, it came back at CGC 85. I'll probably sub this. I'll probably add this to the Cleveland pile. I'm gonna do a video on that coming up soon. But yeah, I mean, the price was right. It was an auction. It was significantly less than what I paid for the other one, and you know, I feel that, you know, The Walking Dead. Everyone has their own opinions on that, on the show itself, the franchise itself, but to think it's going away anytime soon, in my opinion, is foolish. But again, that's a topic for another time. So, you know, the other card in here, so, you know, hopefully, and the reason, because it's part of this video, is this 1911 Royals Bengals, Abraham Lincoln. So, when I had won this one, I won it from the same seller. He had, closing the same night, this Washington and a 2.5 version of this Lincoln, which wound up going a little crazy. And I didn't win. And I had some regrets that I didn't win, but it was outside what I was comfortable spending. You know, I'll have to look this over, but again, it's graded. It's already slabbed up. It's a 1. Could it be a 1.5 on another day? Who knows? Probably, maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's got some serious damage there. But anyway, that's not the point. Here's a history series. 1911 Royal Bengals. Same release as this Washington. And it's just a very pleasing to the eye card. I mean, I like the way the green looks on there, and little gathering there on the bottom. There are multiple backs of this, but again, having one in the collection is great. There's actually an SGC 1 that's listed right now on eBay, but you know, it's got like crumpled up, like creases all over the face and everything. And you know, a 1 is not a 1 is not a 1, as you well know. So I think it's a cool trifecta here to have Washington, the flag, and then Lincoln. You know, regardless of your political feelings, it's the significance of Washington and Lincoln, especially in this country of America, cannot be denied. And I just thought it was those are the only 2 listings I won, and it was actually, yeah, it was funny. It was the only 2 listings I won that night from him, and it turned out to be an Abraham night. Abraham Lincoln and Andrew Lincoln. So that's pretty funny. The Lincoln night, I guess I should say. Abe and Andrew Lincoln. So I thought that was funny. So I'll get that slabbed up just because it's fun. So to these now. When you're looking for these type of items, and Don had gone to the Philly last weekend, he went to the Philly Non-Sports Show, which is, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's known as pretty much the largest or most significant, however you want to phrase it, non-sports show in the country. might be wrong. I've never been. I may be wrong, and Don went looking for Beethoven stuff, and Don collects painters. That's his thing, Monet and Rembrandt, Da Vinci. So, and as he was going, so I said, Don, keep an eye out, hopefully for some Beethovens that we've not seen yet. And, Bach and Mozart as well, but more so Beethoven. Sure, no problem, he said. He went, we were texting during the show, and there was none of that there. Which, I guess, technically, looking back on it, maybe not a big surprise. I did have my hopes up that he would be able to find some nice stuff. And he told me they had one dealer literally told him, I don't deal in British tobacco. Which is a term I had never heard before, and I guess it makes sense. Because, these are not Milhoff, and it says London there on the back. So, I mean, he's not an American, he's European, so I guess it makes sense in the end. It's just weird to hear that I don't deal in British tobacco. Just had a good laugh at that. So, another thing with the non-sport stuff like this is that it's starting to shift. The tide's starting to shift. It's starting to get a little more popular. Obviously, if I'm winning these from the Lincoln and the Washington from a significant eBay consignor that's known for consigning sports cards. So I think that the tide is starting to shift, obviously, and we're having to submit stuff ourselves. Like I submitted this myself to SGC. I talked about this in a past video. But, this is not something. There's one of these that's listed on eBay for like $300 or something silly. This was like a $6 raw purchase. $5 or $6. This was under 10. I don't remember exactly what it was, but another 20 to slab it up. So, but again, this is a card that's 112 years old. So you don't see, at least on eBay, and even on like the marketplaces and stuff, you just don't see a lot of slabbed up stuff. The non-sport, as Don has taught me and I've learned, the non-sports crowd is different. They don't ship the same, let's put it that way. And you'll see here, because trying to find this stuff, trying to find stuff that I'll add to the Cleveland stack to have slab myself, just because not only is it cheaper, I guess that's subjective, but it's some of these you just don't see graded. You just don't like this card here that I've shown before. Another Bach card, ironically enough, but this card here from 1901 Ogden's Guinea Gold, a couple weeks ago, this is a Pop 1, and not that means crap, but SDC has graded one of these and PSA has graded one of these. So, and it's 122 years old to begin with. So, you find this stuff you want to own, you want to collect this stuff, you have to get it raw and submit it yourself. So, I've been looking at raw cards on eBay, and I found a seller in France. This seller in France. And so I bought it. There's a lot. Not a lot as money, a lot as in many cards. And it came like this. It arrived yesterday like this, and it's like just in the mailbox in this like it seems to have some order damage, and I don't know what 10 October 4th 23 from France on the stamp there. They charged me £2 shipping, so that's fine. it is what it is. And Dawn is that other nightmare story. So while I was shocked initially because, hey, who sends, like this was like $10 for the lot. There's 6 in here. Like just check that out. I mean, that's just cut out from like a photo album. I don't know. It's funny. It's just, and I haven't actually looked at these. I don't know what this is. Probably shouldn't be on the card, but. And yeah, we see some corner damage. I think technically these may be stickers, but you see some bunting there in the corner. Anyway, this is a beef extract company, I believe. And I believe this is French, but fairly popular at the time, making again, I can't read any of this, but it does say Beethoven. And you've got some instruments on the wall, grandfather's clock, some ladies there, and you know what it is? It's not bunting. It was in an album, like in a picture album, because it's curved there, all 4 corners. I don't know if the camera's picking up, but so that makes sense. It was stored in a photo album. And again, these are from like I have to write these down because I'm gonna need it if I submit these. So I want to say 1920s, and it says Beethoven there, something, horse and carriage, something, him looking moody. But I mean, this was one of the main ones, like Beethoven, playing the piano, early days, because he's got the wig on. So, and then this one, these last few especially, here he's writing. Just a cool looking, same 4-corner thing. And again, this was like $10, $11 all in, from France. Just something cool to own. Not breaking the bank. Corned beef. Huh. Corned beef. But, look at the artwork. This is 100 years old. Like, the artwork is just fantastic. Here's another one where he's sitting at the piano, maybe courting this woman. Who knows? It's hard to tell if that's erased. Might be. I don't know. Again, it's cheap. Bullion. And this one's got a crease in it. I don't know if that's, that looks like Beethoven back there, somebody dying. Bullion. It might tell the story here. I don't know. But again, it was just weird that it arrived in this plain white envelope. It kind of shook me a little bit. I've got some other stuff from Europe. That's I think Italy. I bought something from Italy that hasn't arrived yet. So I'm sure it'll arrive in a plain white envelope. Now, the star of the show, the reason for tonight's episode, is this package is from the Netherlands. Maybe Belgium. But plain white envelope. Now, the thing is, this was not cheap. The shipper, the seller, charged me 12 pounds to ship it because it was over a certain amount. It was over 20 pounds. So he said it was, the listing said 4-pound shipping. If it goes over 20 pounds, it's got to be registered, blah, blah, blah. All right. I bid on it and I won. So obviously I agreed to the terms and I paid, but I did not expect it to arrive. Now it was sent registered because the mailman rang the doorbell this morning and I went out and I saw it. He said, "This is a registered mail for me, my name." I said, "Yeah, that's me." He said, "Are you accepting?" I said, "Yeah." Sign? No, you don't have to sign anymore, evidently. But I knew what it was because it was registered from Belgium. And I wanted to open this live on video because a little concerned about this corner here. You know, it's a little flimsy. It's not super flimsy. It's not a top loader, I don't think. But shout out to those of you who know what this is. I know my friend Mike does. So we want to be careful. And knock everything over like I would always do. I know, George. I'm excited as well. Okay. Nothing in there. Some Scotch tape. That'll please. Well, it looks like we have a penny sleeve. So that's a good sign. I know the Scotch tape is going to please a lot of people. All right. I think we might have made it. I wasn't sure the size of this one, but it seems to be the same size as these, which makes sense. So it's a little smaller. Well, not to me, guys, not to me. So here it is, and I had to go raw on this one for obvious reasons. This is a Litbig. I'm totally extract company again. I'm totally botching the pronunciation of that, but this is a 1893 Litbig Beethoven. This is very happy to have this in the collection. Again, this is from 1893, so this is 130 years old. And, you know, it's in decent shape. You know, I'm no pro. I don't see any major surface creases. Again, it might have been stored in an album because it's got the little... Again, this is very happy to have this. I mean, this is first one I've seen available for sale. There is a SGC2 out there. The owner of it is on the socials, and he will not sell it. He actually has the Mozart and the Bach as well. I'd love to own all three, but this was the main one that I wanted. Definitely gonna get this slabbed up at some point. You got some corner wear there in the right, the lower right. But this is one that just doesn't show up. There are the amazing, I could see this in a 1.5, maybe a 2. But again, that's significant. That the significance of the assigned grade shrinks when you're talking about a card that is 130 years old. It's amazing to stop and think what this card itself has gone through since being released in a extract product, baking. It might have been in some mother's cookbook at some time. Maybe her son liked Beethoven, and survived, World War One, World War Two, Korean War, etc., etc. All the wars, all the plagues, diseases. It's survived everything, so it's just been fun to look at and take this all in. I'm very happy to have this, and I don't want to put this back in the mail system. I'd love to get this slabbed up on site in Cleveland. I don't have a lot of faith in at this time in CGC being able to have the technology to slab this up, but I hope so. But again, I don't have a problem giving this to SGC. I would give this to PSA if they would be reasonable with price, and more importantly, no baggy. But I am fearing, those days are over now. But I hope I'm wrong. So it's just been fascinating that they would send that in this packaging. I'm just glad that it arrived safely.